Ah, Instagram, with your trends that seem to pop up every 2 weeks. You truly are the lifesaver of every artist who promises they'll post a video that'll feature the results of their art challenge and then procrastinates on what to draw for until the last minute. Definitely not just me. Hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm taking on the latest Instagram artist trend, which is the hashtag 6fanarts challenge. Also, be sure to stay until the end of this video to see the results of my Corby Draw This in Your Style challenge. Thank you guys for the participation, your art is amazing, and I'm really excited to show off your illustrations. And I figured since I got you guys to draw my character, it was only fitting to draw some of your guys' favorite characters, which segues us right back to the subject of today's video, the hashtag 6fanarts challenge. This challenge was originally created by @Capriglione art? Capriglione. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Who created this template with 6 slots, and what you do is you post it on your social media and ask your followers to give you suggestions on characters to draw, and I did so. And within 24 hours, you guys gave me a bunch of replies. Thank you for all of the suggestions. It was really hard for me to just pick 6. I think I spent like 2 hours just going through all the downloaded reference photos. I checked out every single character you guys suggested, and there were cute characters, cool characters, hilarious characters, frightening characters, and a bunch of characters that I had never heard of before, which was great because I live under a rock and really have not been up to date on movies and games and stuff. For our first character, as many of you guys can probably already tell, it's Star-Lord. This was a suggestion by @theanonymousartist10 on Instagram, who suggested Spider-Man or Star-Lord would be awesome. And I have a history with Spider-Mans, so I did Star-Lord. This was the very first suggestion I got, so I was like, alright, I gotta do the first one. Now, going back to my living under a rock situation, I didn't know who this character was until I looked him up and was like, oh, he's the Guardians of the Galaxy leader dude. But I've never watched Guardians of the Galaxy. However, I actually don't have an excuse for that one. I just didn't watch it. It's just sad. But a quick Google search has taught me that his name is Pete, because, Peter was taken. And he's like some intergalactic policeman dude, and he's all cool and stuff. But either way, I thought his design was really cool. He has a very interesting mask, obviously. It was a bit of a pain to figure out how to draw with all the doohickeys going on. Same thing with his guns, because I had him holding his gun at an angle that my reference photo wasn't in, and I got all confused. So I just ended up adding a bunch of lines and doohickeys and stuff and just hope people don't notice, even though I just told you. Besides, when it comes to the comics, the look of his guns seemed to change a lot, as well as his hair. This man has had blonde hair, red hair, dark brown hair. I mean, when this guy isn't patrolling the galaxies, he must be hanging out at a hair salon. Now, on the art side of this illustration, this was the first one of the 6 I did, and so I totally did not get the memo that these were supposed to be simple, because I had 5 more to do, and I ended up getting very carried away and rendered things out way too much. I even added like a background thing. I spent 3 hours on this painting. Bad idea. On its own, I think it looks alright, but I ended up having to shift styles for the rest of the 5 drawings, and so Star-Lord is just kind of this odd one out on the board, but, oh well. For the second character, we have Flik from Animal Crossing New Horizons, suggested by SpiderBerry12 on Instagram. The moment I saw his design, I fell in love with it. He's so it's not a phase, mom. I love it. Also, he's not a human, which is great because that's a little bit outside of my regular comfort zone, even though he does have like human body proportion things going on, but it's something. I've mentioned this before, but I don't have a Switch, so I can't play the new Animal Crossing game. It does look amazing. You non-Switch deprived people are making me jealous. The only Animal Crossing game I have ever played was Wild World for the DS. I did not play New Leaf, which I know that was like the last one that people were really like, oh, it's so good. Because that one I think was for the 3DS, right? And I did not have a 3DS. But I really enjoyed Wild World. I should probably pull it out again sometime because I never really progressed that far, so maybe it'd be fun to re-adventure. But back to this art piece. Like I mentioned before, I needed to shift my style so that I wasn't spending super long on these. And since Flik is a very cute, cartoony character, I wanted to draw something pretty flat and cartoony and cute. So I used a pencil tool to do the line work and then just did like flat colors with very minimal shading and a flat color background. And I ended up liking it so much that I used the same style for the rest of the drawings. Next up we have the one, the only, SpongeBob SquarePants, suggested by Little Illustrations on Instagram. I never would have thought to draw SpongeBob, but I'm so glad you suggested this, Em. SpongeBob is pretty much the best cartoon of all time, in my opinion. I have the first 4 seasons on DVD, and I've watched every episode from those more times than I probably should have, and I quote them on a nearly daily basis in conversations. And yet, with all that, somehow, it never pops into my mind to draw fan art. And whenever I'm asked, like, hey, what's your favorite show? What's your favorite cartoon? I just forget the sponge. I guess because it's so built into my life, into my psyche, that it's no longer a special thing to be a fan of. Like, yeah, I'm a SpongeBob fan. Who isn't? Until I meet someone who really does not like SpongeBob and I'm just like, wig snatched. Does anyone still say that anymore? I don't need merch to show my love. It's already built into the fiber of my being. But it was really fun to draw him here. At first, I wanted to draw that signature smile, the you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward face. Because it's just... It's beautiful. But as I was drawing, I felt like unless I really stayed close to copying that face, then it wouldn't look like that face. But if I did copy that face, then there's not much room for my own style, which is kind of the point of this thing, right? So instead, I went with my own just made up dynamic spose. So instead, I went up with my... I just keep messing up my words, don't I? So instead, I went with my own made-up dynamic pose of SpongeBob doing some karate in his signature safety gear. I spent the least amount of time on this illustration out of the 6, and it's also one of my favorites, so yay for the sponge. Next up to the plate, we have Tab/Corn from Jet Set Radio, suggested by I Draw Tough on Instagram. Now, I had never heard of this character or this game, but the moment I looked it up, I was like, I'm drawing this character. It was probably the one I was most sure I was going to do going into this challenge. I love the style. It's that late 90s, early 2000s cartoon style when Western cartoons and games were really influenced by anime, but they somehow still had their own flavor, and I love it. It's nostalgic. And I love this character's design, like with his hat covering his eyes. From what I read, the game is about like basically these hooligan teenagers going around town in inline skates and spray graffiti everywhere. Sounds fun. Definitely an early 2000s game. So I really wanted to respect that style in a way, you know, still drawing in my own style with my own proportions, but really paying my respects to the nostalgic, angular, Western, anime-ish cartoon style. Also, with those sort of clashing, almost neon colors, I think that was really common with cartoons from that era too. His jumpsuit is blue, and I made the shadows purple, and then made the background this yellowish greenish color, which is a complement of those blues and purples. Now, because this was a waist-up illustration, I wasn't able to show Tab's skates on his feet, which I am assuming is a pretty major feature. So instead, I had him holding his skates over his shoulder, because, I mean, we gotta get those funky yellow skates in there. And yeah, that was number 4. For number 5, we have Kiki from Kikis Delivery Service, suggested by Evie Dreams on Discord. And more specifically, the Artist Guild Discord group. Little plug in there, it's a group on Discord that I run with a couple of other people where artists and stuff hang out and we do challenges and stuff. Come and join us if you haven't yet. I'll put a link in the description box. Alright, back to the video. So, a fan art collection would not be complete without some beloved Ghibli character. It's a must. And Kiki's Delivery Service was one of the movies that I actually watched, so yay! I was actually suggested a couple of different Ghibli characters from various people, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I should do one from a movie that I have not watched. But then I realized that out of the 6 characters I did, SpongeBob the SquarePants was the only other character that I actually knew. And I love Kiki, so I figured, you know, I can at least have 2 out of 6 characters that are ones I'm familiar with. I went a little extra with this one, adding the whole broomstick and bag, and Gigi barely hanging on there. And because of the horizontal orientation of this piece, I had to make the canvas more square. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to fit the finished piece in the slot on the template, but yeah, it's alright. You know, Kiki is more important. I think this one may be my favorite out of the bunch, partially because I know the character, but also because I think it just came out really cute and really clean. Like, I kind of want a sticker of it. Moving on. And last but not least, we have Hikari from Digimon, suggested by Casper Crow on Instagram. Now, as little as I know about Pokemon, I know even less about Digimon. I do not know the characters or the stories. Is it like Pokemon or is it not like Pokemon? I don't know. Let me know. But I thought this character had a really cute outfit, so that won me over. Even though I just did Kiki, and maybe, you know, to keep things more interesting, I should have picked a character that wasn't another little girl, but the outfit won me over. I'm sorry, it's too cute. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this 6 fan arts challenge and do some of the other characters you guys suggested. It was really fun, so I don't know. Let me know. Would you like to see that? Should I do a part 2? Here's a poll. Okay, moving on. Like I mentioned, I do not know this character, so there were a couple of confusing things, like how old she is. I'm guessing that she does not stay the same age throughout. She probably grows up. But usually when characters change their outfits, that's a telltale sign that their age has changed as well. And from the reference photos I looked at, she did have a couple of different outfits. But in some reference photos, she's wearing this same outfit and looks like she's like 12. And then in others, she looks like she's like 5. So I don't know how old she is when she's wearing this outfit. Maybe I should have done a little more research before doing this video. But in the end, I just went for like a safe in-between look where she could be like 8, but also passes for like 12, you know, you don't know. Another thing was her name. Now, I trust Mr. Casper Crow's comment saying that her name was Hikari with an H-I, but when I type in that name into Google, it keeps saying that this character is named Kamiya, which, you know, sounds like pretty much the same, Kari, Hikari, but like, I don't know what's up. I don't understand Japanese names. I don't know this show or these characters. So yeah, for those who do know, I'm probably being a little cringy. But anyway, I wrote down Hikari on the template in the end because that's what the suggestion said, so that's what I'm putting. And that rounds out our 6 fan arts. Except, there's something wrong. That darn Star-Lord, which I apparently saved the file as, he's sticking out like an over-rendered sore thumb. Even after removing the background and adding an outline, he still just looks so different, and it's messing with me. So, I recolored the whole thing. Yes, I spent another 45 minutes creating a whole new version of Star-Lord, just so all 6 pieces would look good next to each other. Do I have a problem? Maybe. But you know what? I actually really like the new version better. It looks clean and sharp and comic booky and simple, and I like it. It's gonna be the one that I post on social media. Also, I found out that when I turn off the template, it looks really cool, so that's also what I'm gonna be posting. And that wraps up my 6 fan arts. Thank you guys for all of the suggestions. It was so hard, like I said, to pick just 6. But hey, if you guys want, maybe I will do a part 2 of this video. Let me know. It was a lot of fun. And I kind of like discovered a new style, which I tend to do every time I draw. And hey, I'm not the only one who drew some cool drawings. You guys drew some pretty awesome art recently too. Let's check that out. So for those who do not know, I posted a video 2 weeks ago where I created Corby, my latest and newest, freshest OC, and then challenged you guys to draw him in your style. And you did! And now I get to say thanks by shouting all of you guys out. So time for the Corby runway. First up, we have this pen and ink drawing by A.J. Studios. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know I love me some pen and ink, and I think AJ here did a fantastic job with that medium. Also, he has informed me that those are turnips on the ground, and I think that is just so fitting, seeing as Corby pretty much looks like a plump, fluffy turnip. Next, we have this epic Corby piece by Speedscape.art. I love that someone brought the epicness into Corby. He doesn't just have to be cute, he can be a boss too. Thank you very much. I love the foreshortening and that swampy background in this. It's just such a cool atmosphere. Next, we have a couple of pieces by Bamboo.Castle. But first, I just wanted to show this animated silhouette reveal. It's so cool! And it just killed me with cuteness when I watched it the first time. Along with the little animation, Bamboo also made this adorable 2-panel comic strip of this girl holding up Corby, clearly in love with his cuteness, and then this dude comes up behind and whacks her in the head with what I think is one of those bamboo practice swords that they use in kendo. It's adorable. I love these. Next, we have this super cute illustration of Corby chasing Whalefly by Meanston.art. I really gotta get on this dot thing in my Instagram handle. You guys really like using them instead of underscores. Feeling a little left out here. Anyway, I love that you added Whalefly, Meanston. It just adds an extra mwah of Zaccura culture. This next piece is by Dave's Art Book, who is actually in the middle of doing his own month-long challenge that he created along with little illustrations called Home Art April. So he's been pumping out art every day this month, but he decided to combine one of his prompts with my Corby challenge, so kudos. Thanks for participating. I believe the prompt that he combined was cozy, which is perfect. Corby looks super cozy in this piece. Next up, we have this piece by CodaBear.ig. I love the lighting and texture in this piece, and I also think it's super cool that you change the proportions a bit to make Corby look more sloth-like and just really made it your own, and I think that is just awesome. Next, we have this piece by Moonstar Evie, which is a traditional piece but not the first traditional piece that came out. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you probably saw that I was doing story shoutouts for all of these pieces, and I accidentally said that this piece by Moonstar Evie here was the first traditional entry, completely forgetting that both AJ and Meanstons were traditional as well, and I was caught red-handed. So there you go, straightening things out now, clearing my conscience for that brain poot. But back to this illustration. I love the background and the butterfly, and I just love the way you used those more sharp, angular lines, and the colors just really pop, and that can be sometimes hard to do with traditional mediums, so great job. It's super cute. Next, we have this piece by the anonymous artist 10. I adore the lighting in this piece. It's such a good use of purple and orange, and I see that whale fly in there. Gotta love the whale fly. I also just really love the style of this piece with those chunky lines. I love me some thick line work, and I just want to give Corby a hug. And I mean, I always want to give Corby a hug, but especially when I see this piece. So thank you. Next, we have this piece by Little Illustrations, and as I just mentioned with Dave's art book, M here is the co-creator of that month-long challenge I mentioned, Home Art April. So she's also been pumping out art every single day for the month of April, and she also decided to combine one of the prompts with Corby, so kudos again, thanks for participating. The prompt she used was trampoline, which is so cool. I never would have thought of this kind of combination. Corby's having so much fun, and he's so adorable. I've been saying that a lot. Adorable and cute. I'm just saying that every single one of these. And I love the color palette in this with the greens and the yellows. It's just so happy and so calm. And last but not least, we have this piece by s.j.hansen_art. I appreciate that underscore, man. Even if you also did use dots. I almost missed this piece on Instagram because the hashtag wasn't on it when it was originally posted, but on the last day of submissions, thankfully SJ here added it in, so I found it, which I'm really glad because it is stunning. The lighting and texture and just the whole environment is so on point. I really love that impressionistic brush stroke stuff going on, and that you really added to the world with like the fruits and the waterfall. Super fantastic work. And those were all the submissions for my Corby Draw This in Your Style challenge. Thank you guys so much for participating. You all did so good, so amazing. I said before that I needed more Corby in my life, and you guys really delivered for me. So I thank you. And that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up before you go, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And while you're at it, drop a comment letting me know what you think. Which of the 6 fan arts I did was your favorite? If you'd like to subscribe to my newsletter, check out my shop, purchase my book or ebook version, you can find all that on my website, Zaccura.com. Link is in the description box, as well as links to where you can find me on social media. At the time I'm recording this voiceover, we're at 990 something subscribers, which is so close to 1,000, and if it happens by the time this video goes up, and even if it doesn't, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for your never-ending support. I've been doing YouTube for nearly 3 years now, well over 100 uploads. I don't know if it's already past 200, I haven't been counting. And I may not be one of those YouTubers with a story of how, you know, I hit 100,000 subscribers in 3 months, starting from 0. I think that it's also kind of nice, actually, to be a YouTuber who can show the more realistic side of YouTube for most channels out there. I mean, most of us struggle to even hit 100 subscribers, never mind 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. But even if you don't explode after a few months, it doesn't matter. And if you love it, you should never ever stop, because it's been so much fun, and this community that we've built has just been so wonderful and so positive, and I've personally grown and learned so much over these last few years, just as a person, as an illustrator, as a writer. I mean, 2 books. We made 2 books, people, in the meantime, and you guys were here for all of that. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. This video is getting really long now, so I'll stop. But yeah, it's been really cool, and I can't wait to make so many more videos for you guys. I'll see you guys really soon, and until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, and always wash your hands. See ya!